I'm your host, TaSheena Braxton, and I am on a mission to disrupt the industry standard that fancy titles make leaders and teaching my clients how to become leaders and get their own seats at the table. Every week, I will explore a topic that impacts women of color. I will unpack the topic and provide learning so that you can feel equipped to step into leadership. I went from laid off to an entry-level job to a mid-level multiple six figures role where I wasn't the highest on the org chart, but I was able to sit in rooms with CEOs, CFOs, and CMOs without a fancy title. As a mom of 4, a wife, and the eldest daughter of 6, I know what it means to lead in every aspect of your life and to be able to translate that into the workplace. Welcome to the Leadership Beyond the Title podcast. So glad to have you here. Now let's get into it. Hello. Welcome back to the podcast. This episode is focused on how to create a leader roadmap for yourself so that you are clear on the path that you are going to be taking right now and into 2025 to get to the next level in your career. Now, if you haven't already, please go check out the last episode about leadership pillars because that is going to be the foundation of the roadmap. You kind of need to understand what leadership pillars are so that it can help feed into this roadmap. Now, while the leadership pillars will give you a better understanding of who you are as a leader and where your strengths and expertise will be better suited, the leader roadmap is the strategic path or the map that helps support your direction. Without this, you will go about your career not really knowing where you want to go, but sort of depending on chance or luck that you're going to reach your goals. I mean, imagine being in your career and then getting laid off, or imagine you moving to a new team, or what happens when a job opportunity presents itself. The goal is to be ready so that you don't have to get ready. You are always in formation to move when it's time. Now, you'll always be ready when you have a leader roadmap because it guides the direction of your career and it helps you easily pivot and flex whenever things happen that are outside of your control. This is all about you having choice and ownership of your career and not feeling like you have to scramble to get a resume done or reach out to people in a scarcity or traumatic energy. Have you ever seen those people like, oh, shoot, what am I going to do? Okay, I got to reach out to this person. I got to do this. I got to do that because they were not ready. I want you to be calm and ready and prepared and not be shaken by outside factors because you already have something that's going to guide you. This leadership roadmap process is based on my own experience and is how I navigated my career. Early on, after I gave up the idea of becoming a dentist, now more on that later, I knew I wanted some type of people-centered role. So knowing that I wanted to center people and work with people in some type of way is what guided me to where I am today. And then I was able to flex and pivot based on the type of education I would need, my experience that I had, my interests that I had, how I wanted to work, who did I want to work around, where did I want to work. Like I was able to flex and pivot based on that. The leader roadmap is going to be very simple, but the key is that you have to do it. It has to be done in order to be effective or to make an impact for you. So here is how you create your leader roadmap. Now, to be clear, your roadmap is your strategic approach to your career. I use what I like to call the AAA Formula. The AAA Formula is to anchor, to align, and to activate. So starting off with anchor. This is about understanding the foundation that you are standing on at this current moment in time. You are going to be exploring what is your goal? Why is that the goal? Is that the goal that's based on your interests, your expertise, your network, everything that's in your leadership pillars? Is that why you have this goal? What is the deeper meaning? You must explore this because you want to have a connection to your goal, not a surface level goal or because your mom or dad told you that you had to have this goal. Like your soul, your heart has to be in it. You need to anchor to that. I always like to say that as a coach, I am a coach and this is my soul's work. It is really how I introduce myself. It's what I say. And so I want you to know that your goals have to feel like, by any means necessary, this is what I want to do. If I did not get paid a dime, now I'm not suggesting that you do things without getting paid, but if I did not get paid a dime, this work would still be meaningful. It would still call for me. It will still be the thing that I do. And then you need to anchor to your leader identity. Now, the leadership pillars will help you with this, but it is taking it one step further to describe who are you becoming in the process. Who will you be when you get to your goal? Your identity is on the opposite side of the coin of your reputation. So what is that for you? What is your identity? And on the other side, what is the reputation you want to have? You can think of it in that way. That's the easiest way that I can describe it, because I want to be this particular person and I want to have this particular reputation. This is the legacy that I want to have. So think of it that way. And then we get to understanding or anchoring to what are our headwinds and tailwinds. What are the things that will push you forward, and what are the barriers that you are up against that will slow or stop your progress? This is important for women of color, especially because you need to understand the tailwinds that you have to face. When you are not evaluating that, you will come across a biased policy or a racist boss, and you will not have strategically set yourself up to know what your action or your move will be when you come against these tailwinds, or you can call them barriers. Remember, we are staying ready so we don't have to suddenly get ready when it is time. And last but not least, define success for yourself. I want you to determine this in 3 buckets. Are you being retained? Are you being promoted? Or is there movement in your career? These are the simplest ways to measure success, because research says that when you are developed and clear on a plan, your career trajectory is likely to be 88% retained, 30% promotion opportunity, and 40% ability to move around. And this being able to move around means like the high visible projects or rotation opportunities. And these are numbers as a person of color. Now, the second A is align or alignment. So you need to start bringing things together so that you are in alignment. You want to make sure that what you want and what you are working with or towards matches, and it isn't off from what your goal is. So you have to be in alignment in that way. What you want, what you're already working on, what's available, what are the opportunities, are they connected? So you are first going to align your skills, your expertise, and your strengths to what it is that you want to do. So make sure that the skills, expertise, and strengths are things you're using. You know, it's kind of like when I hear people say, I went to school for this degree and I'm not even freaking doing the work that I spent all thousands, hundreds of $1,000s to get this degree, and I'm not even using it. When you are in your career, we are not going to allow that to happen. Whatever skills, expertise, and strengths you have, even your interests, whatever interests you have, what makes you passionate, are those things in alignment with what your goal is? You're also going to align your current network. Who is currently in your network that is simple and easy to leverage right now based on the relationships that you have already nurtured? Now, the reason why it's important to leverage the ones that you have already nurtured is because I don't want you suddenly tapping somebody on the shoulder who you never talked to, who you never built a relationship with, who you've never worked with, who you've just said hi and bye as you walk past the water cooler, and then all of a sudden something happens in your career, promotion opportunity, you're being laid off, you move it to another team, and now all of a sudden you want to tap them on the shoulder. We're not going to do that. We're not going to use people just to leverage them. So I want you to leverage the right now relationships that you can tap into right now. And then you are going to align your goals to the work or needs of the organization. I've mentioned this in my content and on this podcast that if you are not aligned to the things that are most important to leadership, forget about it. It won't be visible. It won't stand out. And you may appear to be doing work that appears as waste. And the worst thing is to have your work not be valued and appears like it's not even valuable, or it's just waste. So we want to make sure that we don't do work that fits into that category. So the way you figure that out, you line it up to what the leadership sees as important. And the final A is activate. It is time to work and execute. You are now going to start building your momentum by putting your plan to work. I always say faith without works is dead. So if you are just writing the plan and doing nothing with it, it is void. So how do you start activating? First of all, you need to build your executive board. You've probably heard board of directors. You've probably heard your tribe. You've probably heard your circle. I like to call it the executive board. And the saying goes, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So I have 5 people that I include as part of my executive board, or that I suggest that you include as your executive board. Specifically, those people are, first is your mentor or sponsor. And like I said, sometimes this is the same person. And so if that's the same person, fine. If it's 2 different people, fine. They're still going to be bucketed in this one area. The second is your work bestie. The third is your coach. The fourth is your connector. And the fifth is the point expert. I'll say that again. Your mentor or sponsor, your work bestie, your coach, your connector, or your point expert. Again, your mentor or sponsor can sometimes be the same person. So those are bucketed together. And this is the person or people that are your personal strategists who helps you articulate your goals and hold you accountable to them. And this person also functions as your personal evangelist who provides the seats at the table. They are literally screaming your name from the rooftops, and they are advocating for you on your behalf when you are not at the table or in the room. They are locked in on all things you. The next person is your work bestie. This is the person who's like your secret bearer. It's the person you confide in, and they just know you personally. You can go to them for anything. Your coach is your cheerleader or your fan who pushes you past your edges, past your comfort zone, and they celebrate your accomplishments every step of the way. The coach also can function as a mentor or as a bestie. It just depends on the relationship that you create with your coach, but they have the ability to help you and push you and guide you in so many ways. And then the connector, this is the person who is plugged into different networks that you are interested in, and they can help you navigate and connect with them. This person is important because if you don't already have a network, or you have people that you are not as close to, but they are maybe 7 steps away from being currently towards you or being centered to you, then this connector person can help you. They can help you say, hey, let me connect you by email. I know we get that all the time. Or let me shoot them a DM and tell them that you're interested in talking to them, whatever it is. Or even an admin. We discredit the power of the administrative assistant, because even the admin can say, oh, you want to get a meeting on calendar with my boss? Okay, let me hook you up. I'm going to get you some time. right? So always, always have a connector. And then the last person is the point expert. This is the person who is highly knowledgeable about those things that are important to you. So they understand more of the technical skills, the things that you need to know in order to position yourself to be visible, to be able to get those opportunities, or to be able to activate your leader roadmap in the way that you want to. And then you also want to activate by growing your network. Now, those people in your executive board are part of your network, but you have an extended network. And I cannot stress this enough. Success is not a solo sport. Mendel Hartz, who is an author, says this all the time. And so success is not a solo sport. And then your network is your net worth. So if you want to get paid more, your network has to be important. When you have strong connections, it leads you to have access to valuable information, to resources, and to potential opportunities that you may not have had. And the relationships that you build can be so impactful that they stretch further than a particular goal. And these people can be helpful for other things. I'll tell you, when my mom was first dealing with cancer before her passing, I was able to leverage my network to understand terminology and what to ask the doctors. So I just cannot stress enough the power and the importance of a network. You also want to have people around you that will hold you accountable. And this is how you activate. This is still activation. Accountability is so important, because one thing that I know about goals and goal setting is that you need to have someone to be like, hey, didn't you say you were going to reach this goal? Or what's going on? I'm not hearing you talk about it. I don't see you doing it like you're supposed to. Or, you know what? Come on. I know you dropped off for a minute, but let's get back to it. Or what do you need? What's in your way? How can I help? Or they'll just simply come out and tell you, like, what you ain't going to do is not do what you said you was going to do. These are the people or the person. So put that into your roadmap. And I'll tell you, sometimes this person is your work bestie. It is your work bestie to help hold you accountable. And then lastly, leadership engagement. Activate the leaders that need to help you in this roadmap. You have to engage with the leaders around you. You have to know what is important to them, and you have to understand what keeps them up at night. Like I like to say, date the C-suite. You would meet them, you would nurture the relationships by understanding all the things that are important to them, and just be friendly, be a resource for them. Don't skip over this thinking that only talking to your peers are enough. Your leaders are important as well. So your leader roadmap is going to be so important to your career, because it is the strategic plan that you are going to activate. And of course, you're going to have flexibility. You're going to have contingencies set when things do not go as planned. But these are the basics of what can help you understand what your direction is, and it can help you always be ready. Listen, in my one-on-one coaching, we get all in the nitty-gritty of this, and we really deep dive on this, because this is not a 30-minute or 20-minute exercise. You really have to work on this. And it is a living document, meaning you don't just write it and walk away or let it collect dust. I get creative with my clients, and we do this together so that it is something that feels accessible. So if you want to learn more about this, go to the link in the show notes. Find me on the social channels. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. And schedule a call with me so we can discuss how this can help you in 2025. We are only a couple days away of 2025. I am doing a pay in full bonus if you become a client by December 31st. But I hope that this has been helpful for you. If you haven't listened to the Leadership Pillars episode, go back and listen to that, and then come back and listen to this one. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. All right, y'all. Until next time. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Leadership Beyond the Title podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, hit like, follow, and leave a comment. Share with your friends, family members, and other women of color leaders. Inside my one-on-one leadership coaching program, I will help you become the leader that you want to be with work-life integration and peace. By tapping into networks, growing your visibility and confidence, you will go from untapped, unseen, and underrepresented to attracting opportunities to take your career and your life to the next level. I use an equity-centered lens in my approach so that you feel seen, safe, empowered, excited, and committed to attract, create, and land opportunities in an unconventional way. To work with me, join my email newsletter, or to learn more about me, click the links in the show notes. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to being your coach. See you next week.